the quote unquote, when you use the word God, what you're talking about is this Jehovah, and Jehovah is not real. That's it.
Okay. Thanks for that, Oni. If there's no last words, let's go to Shoot the Breeze topic number 9 tonight. Shoot the Breeze topic number 9 is, what would you do if this were your daughter and her substitute teacher? Side note, why didn't anyone stop the fight? So this went viral this week. You guys probably seen it. If not, you'll see it now. This is a tweet from King Roy. He says, what would y'all do if this was y'all daughter and a substitute teacher? I'm going to play the video twice, as I usually do, and then we'll discuss it.
Why does the rules not apply to everybody else? That's my phone. No, you did not keep nobody else's phone. And you finna give me my shit. Don't touch me. That's on my phone. Don't touch me. Girl, don't touch me. Girl, don't touch me. Somebody get a fucking teacher. Get a fucking teacher. Get a fucking teacher. Get a fucking teacher. Get a teacher. Get a teacher. Somebody get a teacher. I don't give a fuck. Get a teacher. 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 Y'all just go sit here and watch. Get a teacher. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Get a teacher. Get this bitch. Shit, that's my shit. Why does the rules not apply to everybody else? That's my phone. No, you did not keep nobody else's phone. And you finna give me my shit. Don't touch me. That's on my phone. Don't touch me. Girl, don't touch me. Girl, don't touch me. Somebody get a fucking teacher. Get a fucking teacher. Get a fucking teacher. Get a fucking teacher. Get a teacher. Get a teacher. Somebody get a teacher. I don't give a fuck. Get a teacher. 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 Y'all just go sit here and watch. Get a teacher. What the fuck is wrong with y'all? Get a teacher. Get this bitch.
Yeah, I think we can see right there why no one else got involved. But let's start off with Carl Hezekiah. Carl, what say you to this? What would you have done?
Man,
with your daughter?
I don't know. If I was one of them students, I probably would have, videotaped this whole thing too, because that ass got me in the chokehold myself. But anyways, focus. So, yeah, I see there's rules in school, right? There's rules, there's regulations, there's guidelines. Number one rule, you don't have your phone out during class. You're there to educate, all right? This child, for whatever reason, she felt the rules did not apply to her. So why was she behind the teacher's desk? Why was she in the teacher's personal space? Growing up, I could tell you right now, I would never have done that because I know my mother didn't play that, and my father didn't. They didn't play those type of games. If the teacher said that I looked at them wrong, I knew I would be punished. But the problem is that there's too, I don't want to say there's too much leniency sometimes. There's too much when you have these kids, you their parents are almost trying to be their friend. They're trying to uphold their wrongdoing. There was no reason why that girl should have been in that teacher's face. She shouldn't have had her phone out. Take the phone back. They'll give you the phone back at the end of the day. Chill out. Okay. Now, the little girl, she pushed her, she was in her purse, she pushed her off her. The child swung at her. Now, at that point, it's no longer uh, a teacher student relationship. If you old enough to throw a punch at me, you're old enough to get your ass beat. So, but I also understand too, the teacher is a professional, she's an adult, she's supposed to be able to de-escalate. But these people are still human beings. All right. So had that been my daughter, uh first of all, my daughter would never do no shit like that because I'm not playing those type of games. But if she did, and she's 22 now, she's in college, she's doing her own thing. Uh, if she did do some mess like this, I man, listen, I it's hard for me to say what exactly I would do because it's hard for me to imagine my child tussling on the floor with a teacher like that, all bootylicious like that. Anyways, um, so yeah, it's not a situation that should have ever happened. This child should be respectful towards adults. She was out with her phone. And that to me is the root of the problem, is that the child was disciplined and they didn't want to take the discipline from somebody else. Maybe I don't know how they do with their mother or whatnot. But teachers have a hard job. It's already hard enough. Um, so when I was a kid, I got caught with stuff in school. I just took it, and I had to, they didn't give it back to me. I had to call my mom or call my stepdad and come get it from me because they didn't give it back. So to me, this whole situation is just ridiculous. The girl was definitely wrong. Could the teacher have handled things differently? Maybe, but I'm not gonna be, you know, hindsight is always 2020. So I'm not gonna Monday morning quarterback the situation because I wasn't there. I'm not in that situation where I got teenagers throwing punches at me. Because who's to say I wouldn't, try to break her jaw? She threw a punch at me, instinct takes over. I'm swinging back. Equal rights means equal lefts. So to me, I'm not gonna, I'm not doing that. But still, it's just to me, it's shameful that it even had to go this way. And everybody recording it. Everybody's trying to go viral, trying to get things online. But again, it just really just speaks to the breakdown of community, a breakdown of society. um, Parents and teachers, they're not working together. They're at odds with one another. So everybody, oh, that's my child. That's my child. You're not gonna talk to my baby that way. And man, your baby's a demon from hell. Okay, I can't even teach in school because of their child's disruptions. And this is, I think, is the problem, is that these children come in here with these disruptions. They come here with these mental issues, these problems they have, and then nobody can learn. And then what does the teacher do in situations? You take this child's phone. She's probably addicted to the damn phone. Now I gotta sit up here and tussle with your kid, and now it's viral. It's nonsense. So my daughter would definitely have gotten punished for some mess. Like she would have gotten, you know, whatever punishment I deem fit. And I don't think the teacher did anything. I think the teacher did what she had to do in that situation. You should have been in her face. Who the hell do you think you are, little girl? Sit your ass down. All right. That's my thoughts on it. Thank you, Coco.
Thank you, Carl. I'm going to mix it up this lap. Buana, what say you to this?
Oh, quickly, I share Carl's thoughts. I think that I found that video to be highly enjoyable, especially the last part when it was tussling on the ground. But yeah, but I'm sure there is protocol. I'm sure there is protocol in terms of a student who wants to get belligerent. I would probably let her have the phone, but I would tell her to leave my class. If she didn't leave my class, I would call. I'm sure they have security to escort people out of the classroom. So the teacher probably is in hot water for not probably following policy because you have belligerent children like that, And if children nowadays, if they don't want to come to school to learn, you stay at nice self home and at 16 years old and stay home and get pregnant, and you become another statistic. Class goes on. There are some children who are there to be properly educated and possibly move on in their lives. There are some children there to be disruptions, and they're really going to be at wherever they are going to be in society. You're going to have winners, you're going to have losers. But I applaud the teacher. I mean, it's kind of hairy because you don't want to see young teenagers being beat up like that, from adults. But when teenagers act like adults, you play dummy prizes, you play dummy games, you get dummy prizes, and this is her reward for being belligerent. So I can't really beat up on the teacher for naturally reacting. If someone was to try to hit me, my natural reaction or inclination would have been to respond to that. However, I think that a school administration, they're gonna look at this and they're gonna say, why didn't you permit her to have the phone, ask her to leave the classroom if she didn't want to leave, get some security guard and have her escorted out of there. You protect yourself. You protect yourself because the only thing social media is gonna see is a big adult beating up on a young girl, and this is how they're gonna spin that narrative. So I say cover your own ass first and foremost. Because like I say, there are students who are there to learn, and there are others also students who are there just to create disruptions. They don't want to be properly educated. They don't want to benefit from the privilege. This is what y'all was talking about to me just a little while ago. Or you should have a privilege for this. You should have a privilege for that. Well, now you're getting the privilege, and look at what you're doing with it. You're sitting in the classroom, being on the phone. I could care less about this free education that you are being permitted, where people desire and clamor for this kinds of education. You want to be a disruption? No, man. I'll escort you out of the class, and if you want to fight me, tell the security guard, escort you out of there, and let the class continue for those who want to learn. But I'll stop there, man. I don't have a lot on this particular topic.
Wait, let me just say this though. You know that teacher was not trying to cover her ass. Stop it.
For real. Let me go to real. Is Real Black Gentleman still here? Yeah, let's go to Real Black Gentleman.
Yeah, I'm here. Yeah, I mean, for real though, if this was my daughter, like I would definitely press all kinds of charges on the teacher. I mean, I suppose, you know what I'm saying, it's instinct, and it's like, she really unleashed on it in a way that was like, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. Like, young people doing stuff. But at some point, like, this isn't even your class. It's like, you in a place, you can't play you can't play the, what I'm saying, I was just, going ape on it. Cause I mean, she really was out of she was really out of her class doing what she was doing. But like, I mean, look, why didn't anyone stop the fight? Because again, it's like, look, I mean, I don't know who's holding the camera for starters, right? And I mean, it can be kind of different if, what I'm saying, if you're a young man in that situation for many reasons. You might have a bit of captivation about the situation, but they made enough noise. I'm pretty sure, what I'm saying, it wouldn't have mattered if someone were to try to break it up. That it happened so fast that, what I'm saying, she's clearly over a good 100 pounds over the girl. You know what I'm saying? The girl looks like she's, what I'm saying, maybe like 120, what I'm saying? Like, what I'm saying? The woman looks like she's 220. You see them hams, what I'm saying? Them is extra, what I'm saying, butterball hams. I'm trying to tell you, man. It's like, she was way out of line. I mean, a bit of restraining moves. I mean, all the swinging action, all that offensive action. Yo, that's it's ways to like restrain people and to like put them in submission and not like assault-ish kind of the deal. That's my whole thing. You know what I'm saying? I think the teacher in the wrong for a lot of reasons because she didn't, what I'm saying? She, I just think she over applied herself. That's just me. I'm a yield.
All right. Let's go to Jose. Jose, what say you here? Jose, I'll unmute your mic if you're there.
Yes, yes, it was it was my mic and my phone telling me it's almost time. Uh, um, I thought, yeah, good job, man, good job. How else are you going to handle it? Okay, you have to keep your calm. Give her the phone. Ask her to leave. Yeah, I guess it works that way over there, right? And maybe in the meanwhile, it works that way in here too. But yeah, I mean, rules are rules. How are you going to enforce or teach? I believe the teacher was 100% right. It's a learning moment. You play with your phone during the lessons. Your phone stays with me, and at the end of the day you get your phone. So is that rule does if that rule doesn't work, okay, escalation, things escalate. But it was not just the rule doesn't work. No, it's what you all saw. She was at the wrong side of the teacher's how you call it, furniture. She was in her face. She was in the typical 13, 14, 15-year old. Yeah, why me? Why me? Why my phone? Nobody else. Yeah, well, probably nobody else was playing with the phone, bitch. Slap, right? I mean, she also the way that she was controlling her, right? It fully. I mean, the girl asked for it, and nothing wrong with her with it. I mean, she wasn't beating her; she was holding her down, right? It took a while to get her in that position, but she was holding her down, and she was calling for. The only thing that went wrong was these motherfuckers not going to get another teacher as she demanded. For the rest, good girl. And yeah, what's her phone number?
I appreciate that, Jose. Yeah, the teacher definitely was caked up on a Thursday afternoon. With all of that said, let's go to Tanzan.
Yeah, I see the teacher has made the fun out of the men. um, well, I understand if somebody is coming to attack you, whether it's a man, woman, child, whatever it is, you're going to react. It's a natural reaction, and I don't blame her, in a way. Um, I wouldn't know how to, tackle somebody and restrain them, but she seems to be doing a good job. I hope, without hurting the child. If that was, my child, I wouldn't even, I don't even know how these children have the boldness to just go up to a teacher like that. Like who does that? If I was a teacher, that child's parents, first of all, I would tell them that the world is not a nice place. You can you think that you can get away with it because you're in the classroom and all that stuff, but nobody cares about you outside the door. So if you're going to go out, acting like this to an adult, you're not going to go very far. Your teachers put up with you because they're being paid to do so, but other adults are not going to have the same lenience for you. And that's something that you have to teach children very young, that yeah, if you're in trouble, you can maybe find somebody to help you, but not everyone is going to help you, and there's some very bad people out there. So don't just go out there trying to assert your way and so on, thinking that the rules don't apply. So yeah, the teacher did what she had to do. That the parents should be given a real talking to, because why is your child breaking rules? And then the second thing is, why is your child not able to be disciplined? It's one thing to break rules, but if you can't even discipline the child, then what is the child there for? Take her out of school. Don't let her be around other children. She's a good candidate for homeschooling, or just lone learning. Yeah, she doesn't need to be around other children. So yeah, you know yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, Nama X just said about the parents. Yeah, they should definitely be blamed. I wouldn't even put them outside of the child. Like, well, if your child is acting this way, you're definitely doing something, wrong, or there's definitely something, happening with the child, that the child needs help. This is not, yeah, I know that children, teenagers at this age, they do act up and so on, but this is beyond the extreme. This is not someone, this is not normal behavior. So I would definitely look at the parents as well. All right. Yeah, that's it for me.
Yeah, I agree with you, Nama X. The parents definitely have failed here, because you know if it's one thing a child should have is just a general respect for an adult. For an adult who could sting your head right off, you should have some respect. Like when I was growing up and I saw walking on Wolf Road. Well, I don't know this road I talking about. When I was going home from school and stuff, you see adults coming, you get out of the way. You slide to the side. I watch this thing in America. Kids will almost run into your damn groin walking out here. Like they don't get out the way. At least we had that kind of respect, man. Like you wouldn't swing on a kid that small. You wouldn't swing on a adult who probably has you by 60 pounds or something like that. And a slow wind up to there. The parents failed all around in that shit. And we gotta be real about it. This is the kind of shit we don't want in our culture, by the way. This thing where you'll swing on older people who didn't swing on you. What I need to hear from next? I think I got everyone except Oni again, right?
Again.
Did I get Juan on this?
I was one of the first to go.
Okay, all right. So Oni, what say you? If this was your daughter, how would you go about it?
Shit, I would take the lady out. I would invite her to dinner and have a pleasant conversation. And figure out where I went wrong in my parenting, and maybe offer her a massage, to make up for my bad, where I went wrong. Relax her a little bit, put her on a, maybe see that
Just
she sleeps well.
yams.
But make sure she sleeps well. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't. That's what I would do if that was my daughter. I'm pretty sure that the person who asked that question was hinting at that too. But yeah, I mean, I could see how it's a hello from the neck down situation. But it's still like, yeah, I think I would owe her an apology. And in the words of LL Cool J, I should give her a tip much bigger than a quarter. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But no. As far as who was right, who was wrong, obviously the little girl was wrong. And I mean that's the thing. Like again, I'm always throwing shade for some reason. I should stop. But realistically, you shouldn't try to pick fights with people bigger than you. The reason why I could talk shit to people because I know they're not bigger than me. You know what I'm saying? But if it's a person that's bigger than me, I'm not really talking shit. I'm like, hey man, you're a good guy. You know what I'm saying? But that said, right? Yeah, little girl. I mean, I was saying this because me and Lero were talking about this. Lero took the side of the student for some reason, right? But the thing is this: the teacher is doing everything right. The teacher grabs a phone because she sees there's some trouble going on. She grabs a phone and then the student's walking up on her. So I could imagine protocol is, use the phone, call security, have them escort the kid out because you're in the freaking class, right? But the kid is walking up on you saying things like, on my mama, I'm getting this phone back, right? Which is just a threat, I mean, if you understand Ebonics, you know what I'm saying? That's a threat, right? That said, she's like, back up off me because you can't, like, once you get in somebody's space like that, like, if they are not, like it's already. And here's the thing, little girl, as this teacher says, she goes for blood. So she pulls out several strands of hair on top of all that stuff. Now, some people say, the thumping she gives the little girl is a little extreme, but it's like, no, it's in the words of, and I mean, you could say that this guy is not the best guy in the world, obviously, right? But in the words of Mike Tyson, everybody has a plan until they're punched in the face. And what happens is this little girl swings on a grown woman, pulling on the hair of a grown woman. The way how, like, if realistically, and that's what I'm saying, like, if you are in a fight with somebody and you want that fight to end, like, I don't know if y'all ever watch fights and you realize that if nobody intervenes, this fight just goes on, especially when the two of them are trying to kill each other. So the little girl is trying to kill this lady for some reason. I don't know, right? Whereas this lady does the right thing, which is incapacitates her, restrains her. Okay? I shouldn't say incapacitates, but restrains her. And that's what you realistically have to do when push comes to shove. Literally, the push went to a shove, went to a punch. When push comes to punch, if you are like the good thing to do is to restrain the other person. And I'm saying that to say that even in the case of, how we as men, we're like, yo, you can't hit a woman. Sure. But if a woman's coming at you with a knife, you have to restrain her or you're going to get stabbed. This woman, the little girl, is punching at her, trying to pull out her hair, trying to do some real serious damage to her. You don't know if the little girl has a knife. You don't know if the little girl has a gun. You don't know what the fuck's going on. As far as you know, you did. She says she's been teaching for 22 years, never seen anything like this, right? But a lot of us want to judge quickly. But anyway, if you take a student's phone, you damn expect them to just, okay, well, I was wrong, I was caught. Now I'm gonna wait till the end of the day, and I'm gonna get my phone. This little girl walks up on her, crowds up on her space. You let her know you're serious and say, back the fuck off. Then she tries to punch you and is pulling at your hair. Of course you gotta throw punches back. I didn't get in too many fights growing up, but I remember one fight I got into where this dude like he was like, you can't push me down or some shit. I'm something stupid. We was young, right? So I tried to push him. I guess I couldn't, right? Slaps me in the fucking face. I slap him back. He slaps me again. I just knock him out. You know what I'm saying? Just fucking knock him out. Just punch me in the fucking face. Because one part of it is, at some point your body just has to react. You don't know what this lady's been going through in her life, but your body has to react. And two, if you do not defend yourself, if you do not punch back, if you do not get on top of this person, they're going to keep fighting you. And if you don't ever see a fight where one guy doesn't get on top of the other guy, they just keep fucking bashing each other's heads. And if this lady had lost her balance, this little girl would have probably killed her. Well, not literally, maybe not. I don't know, but you can't just, I'm just gonna take these punches. I'm gonna eat these punches. I think it's a tragedy or a travesty that this woman was charged with assault when it was clearly self-defense. But I also, but obviously I could just see the case being dismissed for her. I think again, like if it were my daughter, like my daughter wouldn't do that kind of stuff. But if my daughter, I would say, look, daughter, you wrong. Like, why the fuck would you try to approach somebody? Don't try that shit. And yeah. I mean, would I take her out? I mean, is she a butterface? Maybe, but I mean, like, let me answer yeah. But the only thing I would make sure to do is not pull out my phone. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing I'll make sure not to do.
Don't be on that date looking at your phone and shit, man. That's a problem.
Well, at least not trying to get it back. That's what I'm saying. I would just make her take it,
Does anyone have any last words on this prompt?
Yeah, last words.
Let me just clarify. This is the last one. This is the last prompt. Let me just clarify. She called the administrators 3 times and nothing. But the little girl already moved up on her.
Yeah, last words. With children like this, you let them go to work. You know what I mean? Let them go to work for 9 to 5 or 7 to 3. Wake up early in the morning and let them get into that system. And let them see what the alternative when you are low skilled, low qualified, low trained. Let her get up early in the morning and go to work every day for 6 months to let her understand the value of an education is. And maybe she may see the world a little bit different. See, she have the privilege of going to school every day where many people don't. And just take that away from her and provide her with the alternative and see how she handles that. If she handles that, great. She don't need school. But if she doesn't, she'll be happy to sit in the classroom without a phone in her hand, trying to pay careful attention to what's being said in front of her, because she knows she don't want to see that 7 o'clock, 7 to 3 o'clock shift. I think that that's what needs to happen to a young lady like this.
No other last words here? All right. It's 2 a.m. It's 2 a.m. I know last week D Web was giving me some shit for the hard 2 a.m. closeout, but we've been here since 8 p.m., man. Gotta end it at some point. I want to thank everyone who was here on the panel tonight and everyone who was in the chat. Only, what do you want to shout out this week?
Oh shit! I'm just gonna shout out the haters. I got a whole bunch. You know what I mean? So shout out to y'all. Y'all give me, in the words of Hannibal, y'all make me wake up early and look over my back. So I like that. You know what I'm saying? Keep me strong. Just like that brother was saying about the African prop. Keep me strong by letting me know that the haters is out there.
What's on deck for your show in the morning?
Shit, ironically, the one topic I always talk about, the same thing we do every night, Biggie. Not even taking over the world, just trying to take over the girls. You know what I'm saying?
All right, you guys tune in to Oni. Real Black Gentleman, you want to shout anything out this week?
Nah, I ain't got nothing to say. I'm a pass. Thank you.
No problem. Thanks for coming through. Tan, you want to shout anything out this week?
Yes, we did have a program this week, and then hopefully we'll be back with Jose for the Black Pentagrammers. And always shout out to Shoot the Breeze on Saturdays. So, yeah. Peace and have a great week.
Appreciate it. Jose, if you're there, you want to shout anything out?
Yeah, I'm there. The problem that we had this week and the previous week was me sleeping, being tired. But Black Pentagram is Fridays. If you're subscribed, you get a notification on the most irregular show on YouTube, the Black Pentagram.
Yeah, make sure you guys tuned in to Jose Bronze's channel where they have the Black Pentagram show these days. Tanzan is a part of that. Azuliism, who wasn't around tonight, but he's a part of that as well. And I guess Yana B to a certain extent too. With that said, Buana, you want to shout anything out?
Yes, sir. I want to shout out my brother Oni. Because Oni, there's a pre-Africa Oni and a post-Africa Oni, and I like this post-Africa Oni because he seems to be much more happier. He's jovial. I only could wonder why. So shout out to the brother Oni for creating that app, and shout out to all the brothers and sisters who would have also contributed to the show and making it a good one, a feisty one, and a very spirited discussion that we usually have. But shout out to everyone on the panel.
Appreciate you, Buana.
Yes, indeed. Well, I think that's everyone. Did I get Carl? Carl left already, right? So that's the show for tonight. Make sure you guys are tuned in to all the other shows on KWAZ Radio. Head over to kwazradio.com. Join the mailing list. I was just talking to the sister this week, who I'm hoping will be the one to put together the newsletter on a regular basis, as well as upload the episodes for us. So let's hold out hope for that. Check out all the other shows. Hit the Cash App for all the other shows. Hit the Super Chats. Support. I will be around on the different shows. I'm always in the chat. And we'll be back here next week again. You might see me during the week as well, doing an interview. We'll see how it goes. Anyway, until next time, you guys be good. I'll see you next week. Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Bitter Medicine Podcast with your host, Koku. If you like what you just heard, we hope you pass along our web address, bittermedicineblogs.com, to your friends and colleagues, and share our show to all your social media. Be sure to check out our archive section on our website for previous podcasts. This has been a KWAZ radio production. Join us next time for another session of the Bitter Medicine Podcast. Follow us on Facebook at Bitter Medicine Show, Twitter, Bitter Meds, Tumblr, Bitter Meds, Instagram, Bitter Medicine.